Hi guys, it's Hobo. Long time no see. Today, I've got some information to hand out. Just for some background for what we're going to be watching. It's myself and Silver Boss on Neuro Wars 3v3. In the bottom, we have 3 players. We've got Guest 351313. We've got Afonso 2 and Alfred Maya 123. I'm going to be trying to demonstrate how you can kind of get away with the 2v3 by using magic, quite literally. I have been away for a while, working on some college stuff. I'm hoping to start getting back into some of this kind of stuff. Already we can see heavy houses from these players down here. Something you'll notice in comparison, both the top players are going for an extra castle, get workers out, get towers. The map is fairly long, so you don't necessarily need to get the houses up instead. It can be a benefit to get second castle, so you can get workers out a lot faster. We can already tell, just not yet, but a little bit down the line, the extra workers are going to really make a difference. So it looks like we got a fortress down here. Okay, so this is something that some people tend to do. They're queuing up 4 workers. That is 200 gold just kind of floating there doing nothing. That is ill-advised. You kind of want to only queue up maybe 1 or 2 ahead of time. So this one, that's what you ideally want. Having a second one because another worker is about to be done as another thing. You'll also notice that I'm splitting my workers up here. By splitting up the workers, you can actually get more from the mine. It has to do with the math behind mining. So something like this, yeah, little pubic workers, don't do that. You want them at least spread out a little bit. So I've actually recently opened up the entry to a tournament that I will be hosting in March. It's opened up players of all skill levels, and I'm hoping to try to get some videos out ahead of time to demonstrate some strategies some new players might want to use in this tournament. We can already see there's heavy amounts of towers going down here. They're really trying to go down on the defense here. Just looking at the workers, it's 15, 12, 9, 12, and 12. Looking at the income. So if we just pause for a second, actually, so I can bring the point home. There's 14 workers for green, 13 for black, 13 for yellow. All of green's workers are mining. Almost all of yellow's are working. And all but one of blacks are working. So now let's head over to income for just a moment. So yellow has all but one worker working. They are making about 120, no, almost 200 less gold per minute because they are not spreading out their workers to all 3 mines. And by another 100, black is behind, again focusing way too much on it. It's a small difference, but splitting up the workers can help a lot. And it's going to be something that you'll see me be doing up here on the top. So, going into something that is a numbers game, so to speak, you need to try to maximize your output in your possible options, so to speak. I'm choosing to go with mages here, as it is a 2v3. Meaning the total population of the opponent is going to be 450, as the max pop is 150 on this map. So, if it was just a straight fight, let's say soldiers on soldiers, we'd have 300 soldiers, well 150, because they're 2 pop each, versus close, or 450 is 225 soldiers. In a straight battle, 150 soldiers loses to 225 soldiers. So you're really given a couple of options. You either try to focus down and defeat the enemy in detail by having them split their forces and you attack each of the small forces. If that doesn't work, then you need to do something like catapults, outrange your enemy, defeat them by being able to just destroy them economically. You can also do stuff like damage their worker lands. Or you can use a free resource called mana to, from a safe distance, throw fireballs and deal mass area damage. That is what I'm going to head for in this. You can see about 400 more resources per minute from our green player here, who has now 5 workers more. It seems like the opponents are not really building more workers at current. This is one of the magical things about mages. You'll see in just a moment. The fireball actually can go past what you can see. Meaning, if you stay just out of range, let's go to player 3 here. We can see that fireball went all the way from over here to right in the middle of this church. Black has a decent idea up here. He has a bird, he's going to get ready to go scout. Meanwhile, yellow has this little force up front, getting ready to try to push. Meanwhile, our green player is going for archers and catapults, which is a fairly good thing to go. The archers are wonderful for getting early firepower out and dealing with the enemy, where the catapults are excellent at dealing damage, especially to groups of enemies like archers. Again, the key of this style is trying to be as efficient as possible. So something we're definitely going to want to take a look at is the resources mined and resources lost. We do have idle workers, so something you always want to be careful of. What you can actually do is, when you select a worker, you can go build the building and then shift click over onto the mine. So as soon as he's done building the building, he goes straight over. And I'm just now realizing this poor house over here, it's just being left without a roof. How's anyone gonna live in that? Help. Hope the dragon doesn't want to go in it. We can now see an airship coming down for catapult drops, which I don't think is going to amount to too much. We got plenty of archers here, we got some mages here, we got plenty of towers. Nothing is getting by this wall of vision. At this point I was looking down here and I saw they did get detection upgrades, so my priests would not be able to let me sneak in. So essentially what my plan here is to try to get a group of wizards, get them straight into the enemy base, hope that the enemy has something like what they have here with 9 workers, 2 fireballs, and all of a sudden they lost, for white, half their workers. Could do the same with yellow over here, could do the same with black, getting down these angles. And at this point I'm now sending them. One thing to note, this is before the AA4 update, so fireballs deal more damage, they move faster, and they no longer attack mages. But since this is the older version, they're slower, they deal more damage, and they do deal damage to your own dudes. And we're about to see down here just how deadly these can be. I definitely want to especially point out the resources lost. But yes, I am going to include a link to the sign-up page for the tournament at the description here. I'm just going to take a look at upgrades for a second. You definitely want to try to get ahead on upgrades. You can already see that I have 3 buildings over the enemy. So what black has here is inadvertently a great counter to things, especially if the player is focusing with what I was doing at range, where dragons are fairly easy, at least in this version. They did get nerfed to be cheaper in a later version, but even in the later version they still are fairly strong. But the main thing about dragons versus mages is air are immune to the fireballs. Just again keeping an eye on the losses, you can see against black they have now lost 715 peaceful, and they only lost 1 mage so far. About to use a second fireball, about to kill the dragon as well. And it's 2 mages so far, losing nothing. Lose these 3. In the meantime, I'm continuing to push black back. I'm not being fully invisible. We are currently at 40 workers versus 60 total workers on our side versus just under 60 on their side. The lack of ability to produce things is going to be a severe handicap to our opponents. So if anyone's trying to recreate this, just know that your opponent very well might have a similar context result. So we can see right here, let me just pause for a second. So whenever you're moving with mages, you want to make sure you have an eye on them. So what our player was just doing over there, he had sent the mages over here. He was trying to potentially get around, and he inadvertently walked into a bunch of archers and some of my own mages. So at that point, he had to either split or just do anything. Since he was apparently not looking up there, he lost most of the mages without them being able to do anything. And then he fired multiple fireballs in the same direction. The issue there is, if you fire all the fireballs at one spot, it's a lot easier to dodge, whereas if you fan it out in an arc over an area like this, so to speak, then they can't really dodge it. They're forced to take damage. You potentially got some damage instead of as much damage as a concentrated shot. Anyways, another one bites the dust. What I am attempting to do here is try to keep my guys open. Meanwhile, Silver Boss is working on getting ready for a kind of push. So what this basically means is pressure can be put down on all 4 of these lanes without risk of a counterattack or them getting around and trapping you down this long corridor with no means of escape. But at the same time, with these different concentrated areas, it means this one would be able to do an extra amount of pushing power over here. If you think of it in a wrestling competition, sort of, where if you have a group here, it has to defend against this group. If this one is pushing more, it's going to push back and back and back. So, if I'm attacking from 4 directions, they're forced to have resources to push back a little bit here, push back here, push back a little bit here, and all of a sudden, their resources are fairly evenly dispersed. I don't need to push on all 4 of them. I just need to have more condensed and smash it through. As you can see over here, if Black, for example, sends his dragon over right now, with his archers and some mages, they will better defend this area. Over here, we're seeing the towers dealing with that. Dude, so y'all's lack of combo, he's really struggling, especially if he's losing so much. You can see here, archers, again, I didn't send them in the direction that I was a bit more. Dragons are anything down. For example, splitting those up, I'm going to try to push them out. Same with over here, try and get my dragon. I'm getting behind the workers because I need them, so I'm not only killing workers, but I'm also killing them. So at this point, we're just all moving on. The dragons are going to keep shooting at us. It would just be better to focus on getting workers. Sure, my mages are going to want some lots of points, that is better, but in exchange, I just wiped out probably half of the points. And just again, I'm going to try to start getting some other stuff out. I'm going to try to get some videos discussing topics and different strategies, so to speak, to use in 1v1 settings. I'm also trying to get you guys interested in joining this tournament. There's a lot of people that I've seen in the community that have been here for a while that have jumped at the opportunity of playing in a tournament. The only thing is, I would also like to try to encourage new people to come as well, since for many people it's a learning opportunity, and what better way to learn than being put in the limelight? Well, that's all for today, guys. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe, and I will see you later.